If you're feeling confused in dating, it's not because they're not giving you clear signals. It's because you're getting those clear signals, but you're ignoring them. Yes, I always say do not paint red flags green, baby. And look, okay, I know I just talked about the confusing thing, but the truth is that when somebody's giving you mixed signals, it can feel confusing because there's so many conflicting thoughts going on in your mind. And this can happen at so many stages of dating. It can happen in the very early stages. You're like, we gone on a couple dates, or maybe you just went on one date and you're like, I don't really know what's going on here. I thought they had a good time. They said they did. They said they wanted to go out again, but they're not getting back to me. Or maybe it's you've been in a relationship with this person and you're like, hey, I want to take it to the next step of whatever that means, of making it official or even just getting engaged or moving in together. It doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I don't get it. Like, I'm feeling confused. There's like mixed signals here. The reality is they're not confusing. You just need to make sure you're looking at the signals that are red and that you see that color red. So we are going to obviously be diving all into that today on Carla Turned On. But of course, we're also going to get into our taco section, talking about coming and orgasms. And we are going to be diving into sexual expectations. What is the narrative that you are telling yourself? Yes, you know, those expectations around, I feel like we went on this third date and now I should sleep with them, or I feel like they'll lose interest if I don't sleep with them. All of those sexual expectations that we put on ourselves, and then we create this narrative, and then all of a sudden we've lost sight of what our actual needs are. But first, welcome to Carla Turned On, where dating and relationships get real, sex gets talked about, and the BS gets left on red. Let's get turned on. I'm going to keep it real with you. Mixed signals equals inconsistent behavior. And yes, like I said, it can feel confusing because there's a lot of factors going on. But the reality is when you take a step back, it ain't that confusing, friend. All right. It can be kind of in your face once you remove some of the layers. And we are going to be diving into what this looks like and how it comes up. Another big thing I want to say is if this is your first time with Carla Turned On, you're awesome. Welcome for being here. And if you're an OG listener, if you listened to an episode before, welcome the fuck back. I'm glad you're back. Woohoo. Let's do this again. And I'm also going to say, don't forget to rate the podcast wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and give us a rating. And I always love reading the reviews, seeing what you guys like and just what you have to share. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if you're like, whoa, Carla, I'm kind of interested in working with you, I absolutely am accepting new clients. And you can find more information about my guides, working with me one-on-one, ask me anything, all that good stuff at carlaromo.com or in the show notes. All right, let's get into this shit. This is what mixed signals actually look like. Okay, so we're not confusing anything anymore. Number one, they say they're interested, but you don't feel it between dates. So yes, we are talking. You go on that, and you know what I'm talking about. You go on that awesome date and you're like, whoa, we just have so much chemistry. We vibe. It feels so good. And then between dates, there's this like inconsistent texting. Maybe they're not really quick to getting back to you or scheduling that next date. Or maybe they just disappear for 24 hours. They're like, sorry, I know I need to get better at it. Awareness is great, baby. But if you do not have the follow through after the awareness to make that change, you're going to be in that cycle of those mixed signals. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is great. Okay, they noticed it. He or she, yes, great, awesome. They acknowledge, they weren't texting me back. This is great. Now, I assume they'll make changes because they acknowledged and they were aware. Not always the case. Okay, because the reality is here, this lower effort after the dates is showing you that this is mixed signals. There's inconsistency. When you're dating, you want to see on a freaking billboard, yep, I'm available. Here I am. Like, ta-da. Obviously, you don't want to be annoying as fuck in someone's face and being like that. Okay, so don't do that. But what I'm trying to say is it should be obvious. It should be obvious when you're riding down the highway and you see a billboard. You know what's crazy is billboards make so much money It's absolutely wild, and some states have them and some states ban them. And then there's, like, certain districts, like, I don't know, like, location zoning, I don't know what you call it, but that have certain billboards, and some of them are just so weird and tacky and just anyways. What I'm trying to say is you want the billboard of dating. You want to know it's in your face. This shit is obvious. It ain't going anywhere. It's consistent. I can see it. Yes, it's there. And what's really hard and might feel confusing is having this amazing in-person connection. You're like, "Oh my god, the chemistry is just off the charts, so good, so great," but they just won't text me back consistently. Or they reschedule a lot, or there's huge gaps between dates. No, that is mixed signals right there. You gotta listen. Number two, you keep seeing them, but nothing actually builds. Okay. So this is frustrating because it's like, where are we going? I always say it's like, okay, go find this pizza shop in New York City. Go. I'm just going to tell you the name. Go find it. And you're like, I don't even know where to turn right. I don't even know where to turn left. Like, what is this? I'm just standing here in the road trying to figure out where to go. Whereas if I'm like, hey, here's the address, put it into your Google Maps. Are you an Apple or are you a Google Maps type of person? I'm going to tell you right now, I am 110%. Can you guess? Actually, I'm gonna give you a second to guess. What do you think? You think I'm Apple or you think I'm Google? And I am going to judge you on what you think I am. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm a Google Maps person. Yeah, I know. I am. So you can judge away all you want. I just think it's easier to read the map. Okay? It's more straightforward for me. Anyways, so it's putting in the address to Google Maps and then being like, hey, here's the pizza shop. You turn right, you turn left. This is where we're going. There's a direction. Are we going to get to the pizza shop? AKA, are we going to get to the final destination of being in a relationship? I don't know, but at least I know we're going somewhere. There's direction here. Right? Because we don't always have the answers when we're dating in the beginning, especially in the beginning. And the truth is like maybe you have the conversations about like, hey, what are you looking for? Like, yeah, of course, I want a relationship. I just like to take things slow. And you just keep hearing that same cycle conversation on repeat. Like that is giving you mixed signals, especially if you're saying like, hey, I'm ready to like make this shit official. I'm even going to extend this to people who are in relationships. This is a really big one, okay? Because mixed signals in your actual relationship can look like, hey, I want to eventually get engaged or I want to move in together. The person's like, yeah, sounds good, sounds good. They do nothing. They do nothing to move the needle. You're always the one bringing up the conversations. You're always the one initiating it. And that gets tiring over time because you're just like, I'm confused. You say yes, but then you're over here like saying something else. It's like Justin Bieber, the song. It's like you want to say yes, but you always say no. No, you want to say no, but you always say yes. Whatever the song is, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, that's okay. Let's just move forward. And then you got number three. They respond to you, but they never initiate. Oof. Okay. So here's the deal with people who respond because it makes you feel validated. Well, they answer. So like I always am the one to text them first, but like they do answer, they reciprocate. Great. I love that they reciprocate. And I can tell you right now, in my previous relationship, that person reciprocated, but they did not take initiative to talk about deeper things. And that's mixed signals. This goes for relationships and this goes for dating. Okay. So in early dating or while you're dating, maybe you're about to become official. Okay. The idea here is that you're kind of carrying things along. Like you're the one having the conversation about what they're looking for. You're the one that initiates, hey, would love to go on another date again. What are your thoughts? You're the one that kind of checks in between dates. You are carrying it. You are holding the weight of everything. In a relationship, that can look like, hey, we had conflict. We need to talk about this. Like, what's going on? And then the person might reciprocate and have the conversation with you, but they're not the ones to initiate. They're not the ones to say, hey, this bothered me or I'm upset about it until you bring it up. And then they reciprocate. That is a problem because what it's showing is that only until you are carrying the burden does that person then reflect back what's really going on. They just go along with it. And that's not a fun or healthy relationship to be in. It's not. And at the end of the day, I'll say this too. When you're in the early stages of dating, it needs to be collaborative. And if you notice, like I can go back to that relationship I was just talking about in the past, I can go back and I can actually see, oh, I carried it. Like I was the one initiating the conversations and the milestones. And as a result, the person will reciprocate. So I was like, oh, we're on the same page. This is great. He's talking to me about it. Oh my gosh, amazing. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I wouldn't have said shit, I do not believe that that person would have ever had these milestone conversations with me. The relationship wouldn't have gone anywhere. And I'm not sitting here trying to give myself the credit for that at all. Because to be honest, when you're in a situation like that, whether it's early stages of dating or you're in a relationship like that, it ain't fun. Like that is not, that's not fun. Like it's not up to you to carry everything. Responding does not equal pursuing. Keep that in mind. And then number 4, hey, real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want dating support, don't forget to look in the notes below where you can learn all about my guides and how to work with me. And if you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me anywhere at I am Carla Romo. Let's get turned on. They give you just enough to keep you hooked. Ooh, those breadcrumbs. So if you think a little bit here about the little sprinkles of breadcrumbs that you just like, okay, all right, here's a breadcrumb. Here's another one. Okay, okay, okay. They're giving me something. They're giving me at least something. No, you want the whole fucking muffin. You don't want the breadcrumbs of the blueberry muffin. Yes, that's my favorite muffin. You do not want the breadcrumbs of that. Okay. Even if you enjoy the muffin, the top of the muffins, because I do, it's like you still want the whole freaking muffin from the person. You don't want just enough to keep holding on, right? So one good date, one flirty text, right? When you're early stages of dating is not going to cut it. And then in relationships, when you bring up conflict and you're talking about here, how do I move this forward? How do we work through this? And the person gives you just enough to hold on, just enough change, just enough to shift things slightly, but never enough to truly make the change. Okay, those are mixed signals in relationships. Those are mixed signals early in dating. Like I said, we want the whole damn muffin. Okay, I don't know about you, but I ain't sitting here eating half a muffin or the crumbs. Definitely not. Definitely not in my marriage today. It is not what we do. We don't give each other just enough. We both collaboratively invest into what is going to work, what things aren't working for us, what we want to change, how we want to grow, how we can support each other. If I did something or said something, or he did something or said something, how we talk about it. Like we're not giving each other just enough to hold on. Like we're making change. We're being proactive. We're taking accountability. And number 5, ooh, the different energy every single time. This is that like hot and cold, unpredictable. It's like, oh my gosh, we had such a good time. It was great on date number 1. Date number 2 was such a good time. It was great. Date number 3 is great. Date number 4 got a little weird, but date 5 was back on. And then date 6 was a little weird. And in between, it was a little awkward. But then he came around or she came around to date 7 and 8. And then all of a sudden, a little weird again, and 9. I'm not sure. But there was like, it's so inconsistent that it's confusing. And you're just like, oh, but they were good here. Or you get into that toxic relationship. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I have been here myself. You get into a toxic relationship and the beginning was so good and so great that that's what you hold on to. It's inconsistent, right? There's mixed signals. It's what you hold on to versus what is going on then. There is no consistency with this. And it is honestly so important at the end of the day when you're looking at this and you're trying to form a healthy relationship with somebody, that you listen to what these mixed signals look like. You got to be honest with yourself. Like, I'm just going to be real with you right now, right? I'm not trying to be a hard ass. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm telling you this as somebody who once struggled with seeing mixed signals because I so badly was like, oh, but I want things to work out. There's a reason we do this. We want things to work out because we do not want to feel alone. We don't want to, we're tired of being single. Whatever the reasons are, we feel like we're never going to meet somebody, so we have to make this work. Or you see enough redeeming qualities in these mixed signals that it's enough to hold on to. There's breadcrumbs. But the reality is, like, the biggest life choice you'll ever make is picking a life partner. Okay? Like, that is the biggest life choice you're going to make. And you want to make sure that you take your time and you pick somebody who is absolutely going to be right for you. But this is how you can get out of the mixed signals. Okay. And get really clear on like what you need for yourself. This is what you're going to do. These are the 3 things you are going to do to get out of mixed signals and actually decide for yourself if this relationship or the person you're dating is right for you. Number 1, watch patterns, not the moments. Okay. This is key. You need to see what the patterns are. Consistency equals truth. And that is your reality. When it's inconsistent, you have to be honest with yourself. Number 2, stop decoding. You have the answer already. So stop asking all your friends for their opinion. Stop looking at it on Chat GPT. Stop going down the TikTok rabbit holes. Like, you know the answer. Stop decoding and get real with yourself. And number 3, decide what you want for yourself. Your needs fucking matter 110%. Effort, consistency, clarity. These are all huge things that you need. And that if that person doesn't have it in the relationship that you're in, situationship, the dating situation that's going on, you need to just have a moment, be real with yourself right there and then. Because ultimately, you deserve to be with somebody that isn't going to make you feel confused as fuck. Alrighty, let's shift gears a little bit and get into our taco section, talking about coming in orgasms. And we're going to be diving into sexual expectations and how that affects the narrative that you have and the choices that you make when it comes to your sexual experiences. So, first off, it is normal to have sexual expectations. This doesn't mean you're controlling. This doesn't mean that you're being manipulative. No, it doesn't mean any of those things at all. You go on a date with somebody you maybe haven't talked about and had a discussion about what sex looks like for either of you. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, so I just assume this is date number 5, we'll have sex. Or I assume this is date number 1, we're going to have sex. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But the truth is here, you don't want to start getting into that spiral, okay? You know that spiral. Date's going well, everything's great. And then all of a sudden, you get into that headspace where you're just like, are we going to have sex tonight or today? Doesn't matter. It could be a day date. Are we going to just do other things and not have sex? What if they lose interest because I don't want to have sex with them? And this is for men and women. I always stress that men and women both have these thoughts of what's going to happen, these expectations sexually. I am going to say this though, if you are creating an entire day around sex and you're like, I am going to make sure we have sex, but we haven't even talked about it, and I don't even know the comfort level of this person in doing this, that's not cool. You want to make sure that both people are on the same page and it's naturally happening. So I wouldn't just plan a date just to have sex. I would make sure that you're planning dates and enjoying the time spending together, getting to know one another, going to know each other, whatever. And then being able to be okay, we're going to do this. Let's connect. Let's do this. I look at sex as a layer of dating and relationships, marriages. It should never be the full focus. And so I want you to think about that too with your expectations. Number 2, the narrative equals fear. The truth is we can get so caught up into our reaction to the narrative, right? Are we going to have sex? Are we going to do it later? Or maybe there's an expectation we have sex after 3 dates. Otherwise, they're not going to be interested, or I might lose interest. I'm not sure. And you start buying into this narrative. And a lot of times we have this subconscious fear underneath the narrative. They're going to lose interest. I have to keep them interested. This is what people do by now. That one right there, the pressure. Everybody else has sex by the 3rd date, which is not true at all, but it's what you heard and that's what you feel that you should do. Otherwise, there's something wrong with you, or there's means that you guys are destined for doomed, right? Doomed, destined for doom. That's what I'm trying to say. All of those things here, okay? All of them can get into the narrative and they're just not accurate. And that's when you start making decisions from fear and not desire. And that's where it can get in the way. Number 3, that's where you just go along with it. There's no conversation around sex. And I have a sex guide. It's called No Filter, the sex guide every dater needs. And it literally breaks down how to talk about sex and expectations and what your needs are sexually so that you can come, no pun intended, you can come to the conversation with your date around sex, that it's not awkward, it's not weird, and it's not cringy. But maybe you say yes when you're unsure. Maybe you feel like then all of a sudden you move too quickly. You're ignoring your needs and what your pacing is. Number 4, flip the damn question. What do they want? No, fuck that. What do you want? What is your pacing? What do I want? Would I still want this if I felt secure? Okay? Ask yourself those bigger questions. And lastly, number 5, I'm going to be straight up with you. Their reaction is clarity. If you create a boundary and you say, hey, actually, I like to take things slower. Or, hey, like I was thinking maybe, before we get physical, I just want to confirm something about STDs or whatever. And their reaction is odd or it makes you feel uncomfortable or it's pressure filled, get the fuck away from them. And if your pace turns them off, they were never aligned. Goodbye. Loved this episode? Rate it 5 stars, hit that subscribe button, baby, and leave a review. Do you want to work with me? Grab my dating courses, apply for my coaching at carlaromo.com or find it all in the show notes, and give me a little follow at I am Carla Romo on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Catch you next time and stay tuned. Carla Turned On is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a substitute for therapy. For professional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider.